It is Monday, June 20th in the MLB, and I'm Austin from Calling Our Shot.
And I'm Logan from Calling Our Shot.
And we are back with our three best picks of the day. We got our favorite money line, or over-under, player prop, and no run first inning coming your guys' way.
Guys, it's a new week. You know what that means. But no better time than going down real quick, hitting that subscribe button for Austin and I. Just 0.5 seconds out of your day. It really does help us grow this channel.
I agree. And Logan, you know we always do our parlay of the day. We do it every single business day, and it's Monday. So we got our parlay of the day live on OddsJam. Top link in the description. And, you know, the parlay last week were terrible. So today we're giving you guys an incentive. If the parlay doesn't hit today, which we are very confident in our two legs we cooked up, if it doesn't hit, we're giving away $25 to a random subscriber and $25 to a random COS All-Star. So if you want to go potentially be $25 richer, just go hit that subscribe button. Hopefully we aren't paying out $25, well, technically $50. But if that's the case, we'll tackle it then. If you want to become a COS All-Star as well, hit that join button. We have one new one. Harold, thank you for joining the All-Star group. But let's hop into a recap of yesterday. Not necessarily a worst day. It's a back-to-back 2-2 days. We had Yankees -1.5, and oh, brother, the Yankees really sold that one up 8-3. They said, nah, we're out of here. We don't want any of this. They didn't want it. Obviously losing 10-9. The Nationals +1.5. We added that on Twitter. Make sure you're following us at Calling Our Shot. We also added it in the pinned comment. Nationals come up with the outright win. Pavetta under 5.5 Ks. This is my sayonara to K props. The last two guys have taken the under. They've gone and struck out over 10 batters. So, no, I'm not touching K props. They put Albert Pujols in the lineup. I didn't expect that. He accounted for 3 of the strikeouts. It didn't even matter. And then, of course, we bounced back with Mariners, Angels, no run first inning, a no sweat bet. But without further ado, we don't want another 2-2 day. So we're gonna hopefully bounce back today. Logan, you've been on you got that one yesterday. You got 1-1. I want 1-0 today. What you got for the people?
Yeah. First of all, I do want to address the Yankees one. Look, up 8-3. You shouldn't lose that game. But you know what? I jinxed the hell out of them. That's fine. See you, Bronx Bombers. But today I'm playing an over-under just simply because I can't deal with a bullpen meltdown selling me like that. But we're going to the Cubs versus Pirates game, an unlikely game, no sex appeal. I'm taking the under 8.5 total runs. Currently -120 odds on Caesars, as Austin is pulling up here right on OddsJam. This one's interesting though, because we're going to probably, if you're placing this bet early, your book might still have it at 8. I highly anticipate that given the values on this, that it will climb to 8.5. And I really do want the 8.5. I don't really want the 8. Could see him landing right on 8. I do want the under 8.5. And I do think it is worth the value. Now, we're gonna start with a little public percentages, right? 70% of the bets on the over in this one, right? Makes a lot of sense if you're just doing a really square analysis of what the two pitchers' ERAs, right? Caleb Killian coming in with an 8 ERA. Yes, that's sky high. His 2 starts, 5 and 3 earned runs in his only 2 starts. But at the end of the day, I don't believe the total will be set this low if the books thought Killian would get rocked once more. Yes, that name should sound familiar to you. Last time he was on the mound, I picked the Cubs. And, they gave up 19 runs to the Padres. So I don't think they're setting this over under at 8.5 if they expect him to go, just absolutely sell the game, sell the total, right? Now, Pittsburgh's offense, right? They're not a juggernaut by any stretch, right? 28th in runs, 28th in hits, and 28th in strikeouts. That's, nearly dead last in all of those major offensive categories. And Pittsburgh also has the 3rd worst batting average at home, right? That's really interesting because, you think you're more comfortable at home playing your home ballpark. Pittsburgh, not really. Not the case for the Pirates. Now, the Cubs, 18th in road batting average. So away from Wrigley, the Cubs aren't that strong of an offensive team either, right? I would never touch an over-under at Wrigley. But at PNC Park, I feel okay about it. Who are the Cubs facing today, though? They're facing JT Brubaker. 4 and 1 earned runs versus the Cubs this season, and he's coming in with a 4.5 ERA. Now, I'd love a 1 earned run type performance from Brubaker, and he's certainly capable of that. He's a decent pitcher. To me, he's improved this year than he was last year. Like last year, was just a major fade spot. You'd never take an over-under with Brubaker on the mound. But I think he can definitely navigate his way through the lineup. I pulled, obviously, the hitting splits versus Brubaker. VR, 4 for 7, or Ortega, 3 for 7, are the only Cubs with really decent batting averages versus Brubaker. But again, it's on a small sample size. These aren't people that have faced him 30-plus plate appearances. So I think he should be able to definitely navigate the Cubs order. Chicago Cubs, also, this is one of my favorite stats. 2nd to last in runners left in scoring position per game. That offensive stat is just infuriating to anybody betting an over, anybody betting the Cubs. Look, baseball is about run opportunities, right? The Cubs have a lot of run opportunities. They just can't do anything with them. And that's really why I am comfortable betting the under in this one. The bullpens, Chicago's bullpen 29th in bullpen ERA, Pittsburgh 18th in bullpen ERA. But again, they work that into the total, right? The books shouldn't be giving free money on the over, or maybe they are, who knows? But they shouldn't be. They know the bullpens are bad. I think the starting pitchers can keep this line under, and that's why I'm going to go ahead and ride the under in this one. But Austin, what do you got for a player prop today?
Yeah, we've been on a little bit of a cold slump in the player prop department, but today I'm bouncing back and I'm going to trust the ally. Hopefully, so far today, we're going to a man by the name of G-Man Choi of the Tampa Bay Rays, taking his over 0.5 bases, -115 on DraftKings. Now, it's very weird. We only have 2 books with a line for it, G-Man Choi at the moment. So, does G-Man Choi not play today? If he doesn't, it will void on DraftKings or Caesars. If you put it on FanDuel, it might not void if he does come in and pinch hit. Obviously, all we need is 1 hit, so it's really just him to record a hit. And I won't lie to you, this line does feel a little bit trappy. It does. I don't really understand why we're at 1.5 or 0.5 bases. But hey, I'm going to take it. If we fall into the trap, then that's fine. We see obviously sharper books at it at -137. So let's talk about why we like Choi. Choi and the Rays, they're taking on Garrett Cole today. Obviously, the Yankees are on the road. They're in Tampa Bay today. And Cole notoriously has pitched pretty well versus this Rays team. Now, he might not necessarily have the most wins against them, but he does get a lot of strikeouts against them. So if you want to go to his 7.5 strikeouts, I don't mind that at all. He did have 7 strikeouts versus them in his most recent start. So we look at Choi. He's been hitting Cole very well. 393 versus Cole career-wise, 11 for 28. He has a hit in 6 of 8 games versus Cole exactly, and then in 7 of 8 once the bullpen did come in. Troy's batting 289 on the year, probably his best year so far, at least batting average-wise. And like I said, this could be a trap, but I just have to fall into it. I have to take it because Troy has a hit in 15 of his last 17 games, batting 339 over that time span. He's been batting very well, and that 339 very similar to what he's doing at home this year, batting 337 at home compared to just 232 on the road. I think he's been a very hot hitter, and I just think we're only looking at 1 hit. That's all we need. I'm not asking him to get 1.5 bases or get a home run, which he has a lot of home runs against Cole. And we've seen games where Cole just comes in and melts down. And that could happen today. It's definitely not outside the realm of possibility. So I might fall into a trap here. Maybe I'll be coming on and having to wear a clown nose tomorrow when Troy's 0 for 5 or doesn't play at all. But if he doesn't play, then maybe we'll add another player prop. But I do think Troy should play. Given his splits, the Rays do like to try out their best lineups against those star pitchers. And they're going to look at the splits Troy has against Cole. And I don't anticipate them benching G-Man Choi today. He's been too good for him. They're going to need him for some offense against Garrett Cole, one of the better pitchers in the MLB. So I'll ride with G-Man Choi over 0.5 bases. All we need is 1 hit. Mr. G-Man, I'm counting on you today. But Logan, you know what time it is, baby. It's NRFI Nation time. Wave those flags. Best time of the year. And we cashed yesterday. We've been on a pretty good run. I'll have to go if this one cashed today. We'll go back and track our record for the month so far, obviously on day 20. But today we're going with Cardinals, Brewers, nowhere in first inning, -120 on FanDuel. Now, before we get into it, there's obviously a bunch of different NRFIs you could look at. If you want us to come out here and say Yankees, Rays, sure. But we're not betting a -180, nowhere in first inning. We just can't do it. Just goes against our belief. But we like this one. We're at -120 on FanDuel. We see a bunch of different books. The fact that we're getting -120 is a little bit suspect, but a lot of other books are obviously at more juiced lines, and we got to talk about the 2 pitchers because that's why we think it should be more juiced. On the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers, Corbin Burns, their best pitcher. He's 2.52 ERA, 11-2 on no-run first innings this year, and he already NRFI'd versus the St. Louis Cardinals team. Now the Cardinals do have the bats to get up runs; they're 9th in first inning runs, but I still do think Corbin Burns. I mean, we know him. If he does happen to get a runner or 2 on base, this guy has the put-away pitches to strike out people and not lead to sac flies. That's what Corbin Burns can do. So I think he can get us the first 3 outs. What about the next guy, Logan?
Yeah, it's battle of the aces, right? Cardinals are also putting out their ace, Miles Mikolas, right? 2.62 ERA, 11-2 on no-run first innings this year. He's been really solid as well. Just like Corbin Burns, he has faced Milwaukee, and he's NRFI'd twice versus the Brewers this season. So we like to see that as far as sample size. Milwaukee tied for 18th in first inning runs. Milwaukee's also 23rd in strikeout percentage, which is important. As you mentioned, first time through the order with these 2 aces, both of them have the put away pitches. It's really hard to see these 2 pitchers, and a lot of the times if a hitter gets a hit versus these 2, it's a guess. They just guessed slider and timed it up perfectly. But I really do think these 2 have what it takes to get us those 3 outs we need. We're not asking full game or anything, right? The over-under to this game set to 7.5 too. They don't expect a whole lot of runs in the battle of the aces. So if we can avoid the garbage solo home runs. I'm calling it right now. Milwaukee's ballpark does have a tendency to have some garbage home runs in it, but we will stand a really good chance of flying the flags. Also, Austin, we should mention the other one we were looking at. We were looking at Giants versus Braves one, and you know what? Whenever we make another one our lean, that one usually hits. So maybe if you're looking for another no-run first inning, that should also be a good choice. We're going to fly the flags again.
Heck yeah, we're flying the flags. Yeah, we consider that Braves-Giants one where we obviously trusted Logan Gilbert yesterday. We were looking at another Logan and Logan Webb, but we're just going to stay away and go to the Cardinals versus Brewers. So those are our 3 picks: Cardinals, Brewers, NRFI. G-Man Choi over 0.5 bases. We're taking the Cubs, Pirates under 8.5 runs. We appreciate you guys as always. We'll see you guys again. And reminder about that parlay of the day. Look, that doesn't hit. We're giving away $25 to random All-Star and $25 to random subscribers. Go hit that subscribe button. You can become a little bit richer today. Hopefully not. And maybe you're richer after the parlay cashes. Top link in the description. We'll see you guys again tomorrow.